This episode of the ASMRtist show is brought to you by Audible.com, who has more than 180,000 audiobooks and spoken word audio products. Get a free audiobook of your choice at audibletrial.com/ASMR. That's audibletrial.com/ASMR.
When the world's got you down, when stress has beat you to your knees, there's one safe haven in the storm. ASMR is defined as autonomous sensory meridian response, a perceptual phenomena characterized as a pleasurable tingling sensation throughout the body in response to exterior stimuli, such as whispering or eating sounds. ASMR has spawned a growing community of tingleheads who are addicted to the sweet voices of those talented whisperers we call ASMRtists, who wield this stimuli to aid in our relaxation. Odds are, if you're here, then you're a tinglehead too. So welcome to the ASMRtist show. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy a little me time with your host, Jose Prentice.
An equally great ASMR artist here with us today, VisualSounds1, also known as Jen. She is one of my favorite ASMR artists because she delves in the geeky side of stuff. So you guys are going to have a lot of geeky talk on your hands this episode. But if you're into TV shows and comic books and just fun pop culture in general, you guys are in for a treat. I want to continue first with the Get to Know Me tags. We left off at number 20. 21 is also concurrent with the tagging process, so I'm going to skip it. I'm going to go on to number 22. Are you a bird watcher? No, I am not, but I do like nature, and if I see a bird, I'll point at it. But that's as far as it'll go. Number 23. Are you a morning person or a night person? Definitely a night person. That is, without a doubt, night person. I have so much trouble waking up in the morning, and I only do it if I have to. 24, do you have any pets? Yes, we have a turtle. His name is Gamera, of course. And if you know anything about Japanese kaiju monsters, you know who Gamera is. 25, any new and exciting news you'd like to share? Not exactly. Not exactly new or exciting, but I just had a baby boy with my wife. He's 4 months old, so it's not new, but it is still exciting and fairly new. So I'll go with that. That's my biggest piece of news. Number 26, what did you want to be when you were little? When I was little, I wanted to be, I guess every boy anyway, wants to be a policeman. I wanted to be a kind of a cop for a while. Then I realized you could get killed, so I decided I wanted to be an actor. Then I decided that the real power was in writing and directing the movies. So that's what I became. I grew up wanting to be a filmmaker, and I became a filmmaker. So I'm very happy about that. Number 27. What is your best childhood memory? I guess it would have to revolve around Halloween, because those are the ones that I always remember the best. And one Halloween, I dressed up as Superman, and I stood on this table because I thought I could fly like Superman, and I was like reaching up to the sky with my little arms, and the table broke under me. It was a plastic table, so kind of a cheap thing. It broke under me, but it broke in such a way that the table became a ramp, and I slid off onto the floor, and it didn't hurt. But I remember for a split second I was flying, so that's something I'll never forget, that I was actually flew as Superman one Halloween. 28. Are you a cat or dog person? Definitely a dog person. I hate cats. I've owned a couple cats in my life, but and they were nice to me, but the cats of other friends and family have not been so nice, or scared of me for some reason. And also I'm allergic, deathly allergic to cats. I'm asthmatic, so cats are the devil, and dogs are way nicer, and also dogs can kill you, so there's that element, but if you get the right kind of dog, it's amazing. So dog person. 29, are you married? Yes, I am indeed married. My wife's name is Jessica, and she's a wonderful lady, the mother of my 2 children, and I couldn't be happier. She's just the best. And hey baby, I know you're listening, I love you. Number 30, do you always wear your seatbelt? Yes, of course I do. I'm a father, and I don't want them to grow up without me. So I definitely wear my seatbelt, and I urge you all to do so as well. You know what, since we skipped one, I'm just going to give you 31. 31 is, have you ever been in a car accident? No, I have not. Knock on wood. I have not been in a car accident, thank God. I have, luckily, been a very safe driver, even though I drive fairly recklessly, but I drive safely. Recklessly in terms of defensive driving, not Mad Max style driving. Anyway, that's it for the tags. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better. I haven't heard from a lot of you out there recently, so I'm hoping that you guys are listening, you guys are enjoying. Please remember to email me, ASMRpodcastinfo@gmail.com, with any questions for Dr. Craig about ASMR. Also, if you're an ASMRtist and would like to be on the show, please email me at asmrpodcastinfo@gmail.com. Yeah, remember to follow us on Twitter, ASMRtist_show. We have a Facebook page, just ASMRtist show there. Please connect with us and let us know that you're out there, because if you're not out there, then there's no reason to make the show. The show's for you guys. So make yourself heard, make yourself known, so that at least I know that I'm not just talking to the wind. Anyway, let's get to our ASMRtist. My interview with Visual Sounds, aka Jen, will be underscored courtesy of Sound Buds. I'm going to combine a couple of his white noise videos to make it seem as if Jen and I were chatting in a car driving through the rain. Hopefully this works for you. It's continuing the experiment of the background noise for the interviews. Hopefully this adds to the experience. I haven't heard any nays for it, so that's good. I'm glad that people are enjoying it. Well, I am very, very honored to invite Visual Sounds, also known as Jen, onto the show. Welcome, Jen.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for wanting to be a part of this. This really means a lot. I had mentioned you on the show before, and you're one of my favorites. And this is really kind of a ASMR starstruck kind of moment right here. So, so let's jump right in. Let's get to know you a little better in the auditory way. Anyway, so I understand you're a voice actor in the making. Is that your desired day job, or?
I think I'd really enjoy doing that. I did it in a game that's on Steam called Bedlam, which is based on a book. And it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. And I love doing accents and things, as you can probably tell with my videos. So,
right.
Yeah, I'd love to be in a cartoon or something. That'd be awesome.
Well, ASMR is incredibly good practice for that, I would imagine. Would you ever consider doing an ASMR anime voiceover? That'd be kind of interesting.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I'd want to draw the animation myself, though, and I'm just not that good. Maybe I could find someone to make an animation for me and I'll do the voiceover.
There you go. I mean, I can see that being incredibly successful.
That would be so much fun.
So, how did you discover ASMR?
It was about 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, I've always had it, but I didn't know the name for it or anything. But a few years ago, I was on Facebook and somebody had linked a video to an Indian head massage. Probably heard of it. Sure, loads of people have seen it. And I watched it and I was like, oh, this really feels nice in my scalp. And then I looked and there was the Whispering Voice and Whisper Crystal. And they all had videos about it. So I understood that it was a thing then.
And what compelled you to just go ahead and make your own videos?
Well, I'd seen most people back then were just using their hands and not showing their faces and things. And all my life I've been told, oh, you've got really nice hands and nice nails. So I was like, oh, I can do this. Something I could try out. Yeah, it kind of spread from there. And then I showed my face and things, so...
And were you ever nervous about it? Was it something that maybe helped you kind of get over any kind of public speaking or anything like that? Or you just felt like it felt really comfortable to just sort of be in front of the camera and do this?
Yeah, I was fine with it. I like acting and things like that. Like I did screenwriting at university and helped with actors and things then, so it was really fun. And it's just me in my room talking to a camera, so it's fine. It's not like anyone's physically sitting watching me do it.
Now, being a budding actor, from what I've seen on your channel, it looks like you really love role plays. Am I wrong to assume this?
No, you're totally right. You're totally right. I love becoming someone new and experiencing new characters and trying new accents and things. Yeah, I love it.
Now, I'm a huge geek, and I'm guessing you are too.
Yes, that could be said.
Now, do you consider yourself kind of an overall geek, or is there like specific things you kind of go towards?
Lots of things. I mean, it started off with Buffy. I was obsessed with that in like the late 90s, and I'm still obsessed with it. I met James Marsters recently at a Comic Con, which was amazing. But yeah, so that started me off. But I also love Marvel comic books. I've got so many comic books and loads of manga, anime, anything kind of supernatural. Yeah, I'm into all that.
Sort of to digress a moment here, in terms of Buffy, let's have a little nerd discussion real quick.
Okay.
I was a huge fan of the show up until I believe she went to college, and then it became just, I'm not a prude or anything, but it became really way too sexy. You know what I mean? Like,
Those are the best bits. What are you talking about?
you are a James Marsters fan, so I guess that makes. But for me, it's like, they were doing it in the alleyways, and I'm like, okay, this is not the show I signed on for. This is a.
Yeah.
So as a guy, I don't know, it didn't work for me. But I guess
Okay,
it worked for you.
I can see that. Yeah.
But you had no problem with it then.
I was totally fine. Totally fine with Spike taking his shirt off. That's okay with me.
Yeah. Well, and I really like how you incorporate your fandom into your videos. I think that's I don't, as far as I know. And I've looked into it. There's not a lot of people who do that, and that's one of the reasons I found your stuff. Is that I was looking for anime, ASMR, and I came across your otaku shopping video, and that's one of my favorites.
Okay, yeah.
So I appreciate that you put yourself into the videos.
Yeah, I think it's best to do videos about things you're actually passionate about. So I'm really into X-Men, so I did the X-Men roleplay, and my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one, I was into watching Captain America and everything. So I get more excited if I can become things that I enjoy. So it's more exciting for me that way as well, yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because you do these role plays where you're certain characters in this universe, like you do like the X-Men one, or the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or the Space Mission one. That was sort of recent. Do you script that at all, or do you just kind of say, all right, I'm just going to put myself in this mindset and I'm going to go?
Yeah, I never have a full-on script. I sometimes have things, if it's like a doctor roleplay or something like that, I'll have a list of things that I've looked up, so I'm not sounding like a total idiot. But if it's one of my fandoms, I just go for it and try and insert Easter eggs and things into it, yeah.
Right. Now, when you started making videos, what was your goal in terms of providing ASMR? Was there anything that you kind of specifically said, I'm going to target this kind of video, like roleplay, or I'm going to do, tapping or show and tells? Did you have a game plan?
No, not at all. When I first started off, it was just going to be my hands, and it was just going to be visual sounds. That's why I called it that. It was just going to be my hands making sounds. But then I saw that there was no proper role plays, and the first one that I did, I think it's called a makeover for you, one of my first videos, where I actually used the camera as the viewer. I got so much response from that. I was like, okay, this can be something I can do then. So I started that and then got onto the bigger role plays, and now I use my green screen and things now, so it's so much fun doing it.
Is it easier to address the camera as the viewer, which is kind of what you're doing now all the time, but is it easier to do that than just sort of imagine an audience? How do you just see one person sort of as the camera, or do you sort of picture this YouTube audience, like, the thousands of viewers you have?
I always just picture it as one person. I think I'd probably freak out if I imagined there was like thousands of people sitting watching. I just imagine it as one tiny little mute person that doesn't ever move. So Yeah, I think it's more interesting if I do it that way, and it makes me think that's how I watch ASMR videos. So that's
Right.
probably how other people are watching them. It's just one person, not like a group, unless there's like a cinema screening of it or something.
You know, you never know. ASMR is getting popular. There might be concerts. So, 1,000, 10,000 people auditorium, and someone on stage just going, "Hello, how are you?"
Oh yeah,
Just kind of whispering.
so creepy.
It's a little creepy. And well, let's talk about that. I mean, you started making these videos. I would assume your friends know about this, or is this sort of like the hidden side of Jen?
Oh no, everybody knows about it. I tell everybody. I'm not shy. It's fine.
And do you run into the opinion of like, what the hell, this is kind of freaky, or are people kind of like, oh, this is kind of awesome?
I think when my friends first found out about it, when I told them, they were like, okay, I don't really know what that is. But then I told them, like, I was getting so many hits and things, and like, well, that's cool. And I was clearly enjoying it, so they're just happy for me, really. And my colleagues at work feel the same, so it's all good. Everyone's happy.
Now, like I said, one of my favorites is the otaku shopping video. I also like the comic book store role plays. How do you prepare for that? I mean, obviously you have all the stuff in your, in your room or whatever, but do you kind of pick and choose what you're going to talk about, or you just kind of blindly grab stuff and, kind of
No, I pick and choose.
Gotcha.
Actually, for the otaku one, somebody had sent me like a huge box of goodies, and it like all of that had been sent to me, so I used that. And then for the comic book ones, I chose ones that I knew more about, so I could talk like a bit more about them in length, like Fantastic Four and things. They're my favorite ones, so I knew a bit more about those.
So you're saying Fantastic Four is your favorite comic book series?
Favorite comics? I think so. Yeah, I like the Deadpool ones as well, but Fantastic Four. I love Johnny Storm. He's such a good character.
So, what is your opinion of the first two movies?
I didn't mind them at all. I mean, I was obviously younger when they came out, but like I really enjoyed them. Just light-hearted comic book fun. Yeah, and they got Doom down perfectly. He was such a villainous villain, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm not a huge comic book guy, but when the movie came out, I'm like, I don't get it, because like, how do they get different powers if they go through the same thing? And so when I watched the movie, I was like, I kind of buy it. It's okay. And so I was the least into Fantastic Four in my group of friends, and they all hated it, but I was the one who actually liked it, because I was going in sort of thinking it was gonna be a thumbs down for me, but.
I don't know what that says about me as a fan then.
What do you think of the new one coming out? Have you seen the trailers for that?
Yeah, I'm not really struck on the look of it. It looks so dark and brooding. I mean, the storyline looks... I'll not get into too much detail because I'll just go on forever, but the storyline looks like the ultimate Fantastic Four comics, where they go into the negative zone rather than into space and then get changed, but the casting just seems so strange for me, just everyone really young and weird.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll give it a chance. It's Marvel. I'll probably love it.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. It definitely has that kind of Dark Knight vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'll definitely I'll take my daughter. She's my little buddy. We go to everything together. So.
Well, that's good.
We'll see. Fingers crossed on that one.
Yes.
Now for anime, I'm sort of on the fence about anime. So I'll get into zones where I'll just watch a whole bunch of shows. Like it'll be 2 months period where I'll watch 10, 20 shows, just kind of like just a glut of them, like, all over the place.
Yeah.
And it usually comes from me finding something I really love, and that sparks my interest, like re-sparks my interest into anime. Recently, it was Attack on Titan that sort of sent me on this roller coaster, like, okay, now I'm back into anime. I watched Blue Exorcist and all this stuff.
I love Blue Exorcist.
Yeah, it's a really fun show. So, but then I'll burn out really quickly. Like I'm in the middle of Monster. I don't know if you've seen Monster.
I don't think I have.
It's like 78 episodes. It's about a doctor who's chasing a serial killer. And it started off really great, but then it gets, so repetitive, and so like they start winding onto different areas of plot, and I lose interest, and so I burn out on anime really quickly. But so I'm curious to get your take on anime, on the genre in general. Obviously, you're a big fan of it.
I am indeed. Well, I started off the first ever anime I watched was in university, actually. I wasn't like a young child enjoying it forever. I watched Bleach, and I got really hooked on that, and then I just watched all of Bleach, and it's like 300 episodes.
Yeah.
And then I got into Naruto, which is like so much. And then I discovered Black Butler, which is my favourite. So I was watching that just over and over, and then bought all the manga and just became obsessed like that. So I really like all different genres of it as well. It's just so exciting. And because I talked to Ellie, who I met through ASMR and everything, she's obsessed with anime as well. So we totally have that in common. We just constantly talk about it. It's just brilliant.
Now, what is Black Butler? Because, you know, in America, the title Black Butler sort of takes a different connotation.
I think Fresh Prince.
Yeah, you definitely think, you know, you think plantations, you think a whole kind of a different world. But I assume it's not about that if it comes from Japan.
No, it's not. It's about a young boy who makes a contract with a demon, and the demon then becomes his butler. It's supernatural, and it's quite gory, actually. Sebastian, who is the butler, he kind of kills people and does really terrible things to keep CL, the little boy, like, out of harm's way and things. And the manga's brilliant. It's so good. There's been like a live-action movie and musicals of it as well. It's such
musicals.
a huge fandom. Wow. There's 2 musicals, yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's one that's sort of been on my radar because you mentioned it on in one of the videos. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think I probably mention it a lot.
Yeah, and I think you did a drawing one, right? Where you were, I think, drawing one of the characters.
Oh yeah, that's a terrible video. Don't watch that video. My drawing's improved since then.
Well, I mean, is that also sort of a life goal to maybe draw your own manga, hopefully?
I don't think I'll ever be that good. Anatomy just goes over my head completely, but I enjoy drawing. I've got like a blog that I draw for and everything, so yeah, too many hobbies.
Well, that's all right. It's better to have too many than too little. You know, I know a lot of people who are so boring because they have no hobbies, and that's a shame.
That's sad. They can have some of mine.
There you go. Yeah, toss out your least favorite. What are your favorite subgenres of anime? Like, do you have, like, you know how there's the schoolgirl, there's the robots. What's the one that really gets you? And it's okay if you say the little pervy ones. That's fine.
No, I'm not into hentai. Let's make that clear. Okay, I like anything supernatural. So that's like Black Butler, Blue Exorcist, things like that. And then the long-running ones like Bleach and Naruto, where you can really get into them. I've never watched One Piece though. That just seems so daunting because it's like 500 episodes.
Yeah.
But I really like normal ones like Slice of Life. That's the genre where it's just everyday life, going to school and things. That's really cute, and it's just nice to sit back and kind of relax when you're watching them. You don't really have to get really involved. So I love those as well.
What would be your favorite slice of life? For me, it's I'm gonna probably butcher the title, but Azumanga Daioh. And it's a really cute one. Except there's tons of panty shots in it, and that sort of ruins the flow of the sort of like, you know, the kind of sweet, cute flow of it. All of a sudden, there's a little girl's underwear, and man, I don't know. It's a little bizarre, but overall the show is really enjoyable.
I really like Kimi to Boku, which is You and I in English, and it's just about 5 friends who basically nothing happens. They just have school and things. And then there's what's another one? Daily Lives of High School Boys. That's more of a comedy, but it's amazing. It's so funny.
The title alone cracks me up.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, sort of touching on anime, I can tell you're really big into cosplay, and you have a cosplay video where you sort of do a role play where somebody comes in wanting to do cosplay, and you sort of go through like, oh, this is how we make the outfit. I really like that one, but I also like how you kind of do your own cosplay stuff, and for example, the X-Men video and the Age of the Shield stuff. How do you prepare for that?
For those ones, I ordered the wigs, I always order my wigs off eBay. And I've only started cosplaying in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, so I've like got really into it now, and I've been to Comic Cons and cosplay and things. But for those, I just use what's called closet cosplay. It's hard to say, but that's basically where you've got your own clothes that kind of look like the characters. So I use that for the Agents of Shield and the Blink one where I'm dressed as her.
Right.
So I really enjoyed it. I love wigs. I've got so many wigs. It's ridiculous. I'll have to just use them in different videos now, all these different wigs.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say maybe you could do a video where somebody walks into a wig shop and then you.
That's what it'll have to be.
There you go, and you model them like, and then you can look like this, and.
I'll become each character as I put them all on.
There you go. It could be an epic like 6-part series, you know. Sort of a limited YouTube event or something.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
You do a lot of request videos, and those seem like a lot of fun to do. But are they fairly difficult, sort of to please your fans, or?
I did more when my channel was just starting out because I didn't have many ideas and didn't really know what I was doing. But I enjoyed it because I knew that people actually wanted those sort of things, so I was giving people what they wanted. But now I kind of know what I enjoy in videos and what other people enjoy, so I try and incorporate those into like all my videos now rather than doing separate requests. But yeah, I enjoy them. I enjoy making any types of videos.
Have you ever gotten any really bizarre requests that you're like, I can't believe I just read that. I'm just gonna pretend that this person didn't leave this comment, or I'm gonna block this person. Has that ever happened yet?
Oh yeah, all the time. I get such weird comments. Like I usually get them about my hands. I don't know what it is about people on my hands, but they're always like, "Can you do it with this specific nail polish?" And like, do strange things with your hands, and yeah, odd things that shouldn't be mentioned ever again.
Well, I was gonna say, can you name a couple? But I guess if you'd rather not.
Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to know that.
Yeah, it is interesting because I hands don't do it for me. It's really more like the voice and kind of the whisper, the soft talking.
Yes.
So it's interesting that people sort of get turned on by hand motion.
Yeah, I don't know what draws them to my channel, whether it's like because I've got long nails or something. It must be, but it's very strange. Keep away.
If you had to name, let's say, your top 3 ASMR artists, people that you kind of go to all the time if you need to relax, who would it be?
Whispers Unicorn, which is Ashley. She's great. She has just a perfect voice for it. I don't know what it is about her. And she's such a nice girl as well, which helps, like, knowing that she's not awful in real life. She's not putting on a show or anything. She's just great. Who else do I listen to? Minx Laura 123. I listen to her a lot. She's a British ASMR artist. Her channel's really grown now, actually. I did a collab video with her not very long ago.
Oh, right. Very cool.
That was fun, yeah. And then I always go back to Whisper Crystal as well, even though she's got no more new videos. But her voice is just so soothing and perfect. I love it.
Oh, I don't know Whisper Crystal. I'm gonna track down the
She's
videos.
Like one of the originals, yeah.
Oh,
really
wow.
good.
So you've been doing videos for about 3 years, yeah?
About that, yeah.
And
it might be 4 now. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
What year is it?
How do you feel about continuing? Are you worried about burning out on this, or are you just having such a blast that you're just gonna go until it's just not fun anymore?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going until I stop enjoying it, which I don't really see it happening. I mean, there's been so many opportunities and things that have come because of this that I'm just so thankful for it, and it's great. And it's great when I've meet people in real life who like recognise me and things. Like at the Comic Con I went to in March, so many people recognised me. It was so crazy. It was just so much fun, like being able to actually connect with people who watch the videos and things. I just felt like so humbled. It was great.
I'm curious if you've ever met anybody in real life that has asked you, would you just kind of come closer and whisper in my ear real quick?
No, nobody's ever done that. Thank goodness. I think I'd run the other way.
Right. Well,
Where
yeah.
everybody's being really nice and normal. They just say hello.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because you know, I wonder about this because ASMR is so, you know, it's fairly new. It's such a sort of unique kind of subgenre, I guess, of YouTube video of relaxation that, you know, whenever you would meet somebody in person, I'm curious if like, you know, the fan would be like, wow, your voice is so different. Can you just talk a little lower and can you show me some
Yeah, I
stuff?
think
You know.
yeah, people are quite shocked that my accent's so strong because when I'm making my videos, I'm like quiet and trying to be so gentle, so my voice goes like a bit posher than I actually am. I'm not. I'm rougher in real life.
Tell me about your other YouTube channel, Jenny Jutsu. It is an ASMR, but it seems like there's more of your personality involved in that one.
Yeah, I can be more myself on that one, obviously because I'm not doing role plays and things. I just thought it would be a bit of fun to do vlogs and show my daily life, and then I've done some video games as well, which I really enjoy. So I've really enjoyed doing that, and I've done kind of film reviews and things, which I love to do because I get really passionate about them, and I couldn't make an ASMR video about that because I'd just get really loud and it just wouldn't work out. So I thought the separate channel would work for that sort of thing.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you your thoughts on Avengers 2.
I loved it so much. It was such a good film. I mean, I made a video on Jenny Jitsu about that. That was like one of my big reviews, and yeah, there was some good points and not so good points, but the good points outweighed the bad points so much. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be complaining about the Black Widow and Hulk relationship thing, making her like weaker than she actually is, but I didn't think she was. She's still badass even if she was like in love. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, no, I agree about that. For the only weird thing for me is that it sort of came out of nowhere because it seemed like she was in a thing with Hawkeye and
yeah, that's what everybody wanted. But then he had a wife in this one, so it was like, oh, okay, well, now you can't be in love anymore.
Right, right. A spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Avengers 2.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
It's all right. It's not that big of a spoiler, but just in case, you know, people get upset about everything.
I didn't give any huge spoilers. It's fine.
Exactly. And for anybody else who's curious, the new Star Wars movie ends with Luke dying. Anyway, kidding. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. That is a joke. Nobody sent me emails. That doesn't actually happen. Now, you have a very interesting video on Jenny Jutsu where you take on Daredevil.
So to speak. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me how that came about.
Well, I watched the Netflix series in like 2 days because it was amazing. Have you seen it? It's so good.
I love it. I'm not a huge Daredevil fan, but the show made me change my mind.
No, same. Yeah, I went out and bought comics after that because it was just amazing. So yeah, I watched that, and Charlie Cox, who plays Matt Murdock, Daredevil, was just beautiful. So I was like, I'm gonna totally cosplay him as a man. This is a good idea. And it just happened. So yeah, I got stubble and everything for that.
Yeah. It was pretty convincing. You should walk out in public that way. Maybe at the next Comic-Con or something.
Well, yeah, I got my next wig for that, so I don't have to use my real hair for that anymore. Totally gonna do it.
So you're currently working on a book, yes?
I am. Yeah, struggling too.
Now, do you want to tell us about it, or do you want to sort of keep it under wraps?
I can tell you a bit about it. It's a fantasy novel, and it's basically, I'll not give away the plot, but it's about a girl who goes into a mysterious forest, and there's all sorts of creatures and things, and I'm enjoying writing it. I'm kind of quarter of the way through at the moment. I keep getting writer's block and just stopping. I stopped for a couple of months, but I'm trying to get back into it now. But it's just so much fun making up my own characters and like locations and things, descriptions. I've always been into writing. Like, I've got so much fanfic written. I decided to make my own people. So yeah, it's a first for me, but I'm enjoying it. I did screenwriting at uni, so I wrote films at university, and not like creative writing sort of thing, but I'm challenging myself with this time.
That's great. That's actually my day job is screenwriting and novels and things like that. So
That's so cool.
I'm gonna cheer you on. That's
Thank
really
you.
cool. The first book is it's like your first time. Not that I've ever taken drugs, but I would imagine it's the first time someone takes drugs. You're like, whoa, there's so much there's so much power here, so much energy here. I love this. And then
Yeah,
you become you become a god to this world, and you can do anything. You can do
that's
anything
it.
to these characters, and it's great. So
That's my plan. I want to take over the world.
there you go. On paper, at least.
That's it, yeah.
Well, so I assume you're also a Game of Thrones fan. Have you read those books?
I haven't read them, and I'm only up to the first episode of season 5, just before you spoil any of them. So
Gotcha.
I haven't read the books, but I've watched the TV show, yes.
Yeah, same here. I love the show, but the books are just it's daunting. It's like they're so big.
So many. Yeah. So many names. It's hard enough to keep track of people on the telly, never mind keeping them in my brain when I'm reading.
Right. Okay, good. So it's not only like me and my wife watch it, and I'm glad it's not just us going, wait, who's that guy? Didn't he die? And we have to like hurry, pull up the Wikipedia quick. So what's? Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, I got on my Jenny Jitsu channel. I did a video where my mom tries to name people from it because she's even worse than me with the names. It didn't go well.
I'm gonna I'm pretty sure I know who your favorite character in the show is. But why don't you tell me who your favorite character is? I'm pretty sure I know who it's gonna be, but maybe I'm wrong.
My favorite character is Daenerys Targaryen.
That's what I thought.
Because she has dragons. Dragons are so cool. And she's beautiful, so yeah, she's amazing.
I know you did was it a hairstyling role play?
Oh, I did. I did my posh voice for that one, yeah. They're all very posh in that. Even like the non-posh people are posh, so.
You're listening to the ASMRtist Show with Jose Prentice, author of the best-selling novel Elementary, My Dear Watson, available on Amazon.com.
We'll get back to Jen in a moment, but first, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Audible.com. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook of your choice and a free 30-day trial membership. All you got to do is go to audibletrial.com/ASMR and choose from over 180,000 audiobooks. Download any title and start listening. It's that easy. So go to audibletrial.com/ASMR. That's audibletrial.com/ASMR and get started today. Recommend something to me, by the way. I'm always on the hunt for something good to read, or in this case, listen to. Head on over to audibletrial.com/ASMR and go grab that free book.
If you like the show, then please subscribe so as not to miss the next tingly episode. And make sure to share it with your pals. Also, please consider leaving an iTunes comment, which really helps us get the word out about the show and ASMR in general. Thanks for being a Tinglehead. Now let's get back to the show.
As I am, and what I like about doing these interviews is that we can sort of, get specific on stuff. It doesn't have to necessarily be all ASMR all the time. I love getting to know the person, the ASMR artist in general. So we've chatted a little bit about sort of favorites. So now I'm going to grill you on in terms of giving me your top 3 on a whole bunch of stuff. So I hope you're ready. I hope you're prepared.
Oh my goodness, okay.
So let's start with anime. Give me your top 3 anime.
Okay. First one, Black Butler. I think we've already decided that.
Yes.
Second one, Ouran High School Host Club.
Oh, okay.
That's really good. It's very girly, actually. It's quite a girly thing for me. But yeah, it's brilliant. And third would probably be Naruto Shippuden, or however you pronounce that one. It's like the Naruto that's going on at the moment. But yes, they're my top 3. So
top
good.
3. Now, the Shippuden one, that's the one where he's older, right? That's like okay. Now, how would you rate the show in terms of kid friendliness? Because my daughter and I love, sort of watching a series. We watch Korra. We just we're finishing up Avatar. I started backwards on that one. But I want to get her into anime, and Naruto seems like the closest to an Avatar or a Korra,
Yeah,
sort of like a silly character and the action. So would you rate that as good for like a 7-year-old?
especially the kind of first Naruto, not Naruto Shippuden, like just Naruto. That's very child friendly because they're all really young in it and they do like silly missions and things. That's really good. I think she'd really enjoy that. She
Okay.
sounds very cool if she's into that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm turning her into a little geek, and so
That's right. That's how it should be.
yeah. I mean, I tell all my friends now that have kids. It's like, look, we grew up in a certain way. I grew up in the '80s, so all those movies like Goonies and Gremlins and Monster Squad, all these great, movies. The '80s Bond movies are great.
Yeah.
They all have a certain feel, and so my generation feels almost like we don't want to grow up. And a lot of the filmmakers that are my age are making those kind of movies now. Like J.J. Abrams, and like we love that kind of feel, that world.
Yeah.
And so I want to pay that forward to my kid so that as the generations grow older, I feel that there's never going to come a point where they ever feel like they're boring grown-ups. They're always going to... I want them to always have that magic. Always be that kid.
That's the best idea. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Right. I mean, because, my parents never watched cartoons with me. Yeah, they would put it on TV and they'd go away. Or I would turn the TV on myself and just, veg out in front of Ninja Turtles or something.
Yes.
So, it's different. My daughter's growing up in a world where I'll say, oh my God, you have to sit down. We're going to watch Jaws because you need to know what's in the ocean. And
That's
Jaws is one of her favorite movies, and we'll watch Avatar, we'll watch Korra, we'll watch Goosebumps and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
she'll grow up in this world where fantasy exists and there's magic and there's all this kind of like wonderful stuff out there, and I'm hoping when she's older I'm pretty sure she's gonna carry it on to her kids, and
Definitely.
so I think all that stuff is important. I think pop culture is really the way the world will fix itself. Hopefully, but that's it. That's the end of my rant for for cartoons for a better living.
That would be your presidential speech right there.
Yeah, there you go. So vote for me because I like cartoons.
Yay!
So okay, so since you're writing a book, why don't you give me your top 3 favorite books?
I Am Legend is my favorite. The movie was based on. Don't watch the movie. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a good book. Go out and read it. Second favorite, probably The Ruins.
Oh, okay.
By who's it by? Scott Smith. It's on my shelf over there. Yeah, and the movie's actually really good for that because he did the screenplay as well. Yeah.
Movie's good.
And third, I'm trying to think what I've read more than once. Oh, I like general Stephen King. Anything by Stephen King I love. I loved Cell by him. That was great. And Carrie. Yeah.
Cell was actually the last book I read of his that I thought was probably his most visceral story. The last one I read was Doctor Sleep, and I
haven't read that one.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it. It was a very kind of strange. That was like the sequel to The Shining. That was his whole.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with the top 3 movies. This is probably going to be tough, I'm guessing.
It's tough. I think my favourite is Batman Returns. That's such a good film.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that captures Batman perfectly. Better than the Nolan ones. I much prefer the Tim Burton ones.
Okay.
Sorry, every single person who's listening. But yeah. X-Men 2 is also one of my favourites. And I really like the new Avengers. I don't know what else to say. It was so good. But I like things like The Truman Show as well. That's a really good film.
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey.
So you're a fan of sequels, basically.
Yeah, I do like a nice sequel.
Batman Returns was a good film, but it was really there was something about the Penguin's character that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and
He was perfect though.
he looked great, but man, that's the one I can't bring myself to, watch, a lot. Like the first one, epic, great movie. Nicholson's Joker is like the best.
Yeah, he's the best Joker.
Yeah, but Batman Return, I don't know. The Penguin and his little weird army of people, I don't know.
But Catwoman's in it. The best Catwoman is in it, so she just makes everything better. She's amazing.
Correction, the best Catwoman was Halle Berry.
We don't speak of that Catwoman.
That is a joke, people.
Yeah, please say that was a joke. Yeah, we never speak of that.
No, that was a terrible movie. All right, top 3 video games.
Ooh, The Last of Us. I enjoyed The Last of Us.
Oh yeah,
such a good game.
Yeah.
Any Tomb Raider game really, and Resident Evil 4. That's a good game.
Oh yeah.
I had that on the Wii. I had it on the Wii, and I had a gun. I had a gun with a laser that I was shooting at the telly. It was great.
Oh man. I wonder about that because I had the Wii for about 2 months and then I just returned it because I didn't.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to handle.
Yeah. I sold mine a while ago and got a PlayStation 3. But yeah, I enjoyed Resident Evil on that. It was fun.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of another. TV shows. Okay. All right, so let's go with top 3 TV shows, which is probably going to be also difficult, but do your best.
Difficult. Of all time ever, Buffy has to be number 1, really, doesn't it? What else? Lost. I was a huge fan of Lost.
Were you really?
Amazing. Yes.
Okay.
And House. House was great as well.
House. Okay.
Yeah. Something that's not like supernatural.
Yeah. Something reality based. Interesting.
Yes.
To digress a little bit to Lost. My wife was a huge fan, but I saw the first episode, like that pilot, and I knew, no way. There's no way they're gonna fix this. There's no way they're gonna explain this. This is gonna fall apart. Halfway through season 1, I checked out. She kept watching.
No.
She kept watching, and then so I would hear stuff through her, like, oh yeah, then this happened, and then like, oh yeah, the polar bear never came back, and like all this stuff.
It's great. It
and
makes no sense, but it's great.
Well, see, and I think not to downplay the fandom, but I think for a show like Lost to work, you sort of have to be okay with it not working. Be okay with it. Okay, it's fine. I like the feel. I like the characters. It's okay that the hatch doesn't come to any sort of conclusion, as far as I know, right?
There was no answers. There was no answers for pretty much anything. But the fact that there were so many things that you could try and figure out, and then when you look back on some episodes, you're like, oh, that's what that was about. So that kind of thing I really enjoyed. And I actually really liked the ending episode as well. Nobody else did, but I enjoyed it. It seems to be just me who likes the random things.
I saw the last episode, and I guess that's really the only way it could end.
Yeah.
There's really, but then it's like, the thing is, there was so many fan predictions, and that was kind of like the biggest one that everyone thought, well, that's probably how it'll wrap up, and it did. I'm not gonna say anything on the show in case anybody wants to check out Lost.
No, we're not spoiling it. Go watch it.
Yeah, but it turns out they're all robots. Anyway,
that's it. Like Westworld.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually going to be a show coming out soon. I think at the end of the year.
That is exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you. I've got these 50 goofy questions that I've been doing throughout the podcast, and I like to ask the ASMRtist 5 random ones. Okay, so these are just completely random questions, and I'll throw them at you, and just answer with the first thing that comes to your head. Ready?
Okay.
Favorite place to eat?
My bed. Is it supposed to be a place?
Okay. I haven't gotten that one yet.
Yes.
So I assume like breakfast in bed and like lunch in bed and dinner in bed, that kind of thing, or
I always have my breakfast in bed
okay.
every day,
Oh,
so I can
nice.
watch things on my laptop.
And do you have like you have your butler bring it to you, or?
Oh yeah, I got my demon butler brings it to me every morning.
Oh, nice. Well, that's lovely. Uh,
Yeah.
what is your best childhood memory?
Oh, I think it's probably going to those places that have big, like, foam things, and you can run around and there's like slides and things. It was called Charlie Chalks when I was little, but it was probably that sort of thing where you are, and it's like slides and things that you can run into and not like maim yourself. And there's lots of other children. You know
Gotcha.
the
So
kind of
it's like one of those big kind of big bouncy house kind of
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
We
I
have
love that.
one. We have one that I take my daughter to called Chuck E. Cheese out here.
Yes, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. What was it? Charlie Chogs?
Charlie Chalk, and there was this terrifying like clown that was the main face of it. It was horrible, but the place was good.
Gotcha. So that's good to know. You're also a fan of clowns.
No, no.
Where would you want to retire?
Ooh, I like this one. Is the island from Lost an option? Let's go there.
Sure. I don't. What you want to retire there? It seems all crazy.
No, true. I'd probably die. What about Sunnydale from Buffy? I could go there.
To
But
the
that's just a big crater now, so maybe not.
yeah. Oh,
I
that's
don't
right.
know. Yeah. Anywhere where there's nice people and sunshine. I don't mind.
Okay. So we'll say anywhere that there's sunshine and nice people. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you have any pet peeves?
I don't like people putting material between their teeth. Does that make sense? Like
What do
my
you?
friend at school used to bite her tie, and it just goes through me.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
when people leave plugs turned on, like the wall socket, when they leave that on and there's nothing in it, that
Gotcha.
infuriates me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Most
so
things are fine though.
most things. If people eat clothing, you're not a fan of.
No, I'm not a fan. So you're like a goat. I don't like it.
Let's see. How do you like your steak?
I don't like steak very much actually. I hardly ever eat steak. I don't like it still mooing though. It's got to be just like cooked. I don't like any pink. Probably well done then, if that's the question.
There
Well
you go.
done.
That's
Yeah.
that's my answer as well. I like to describe it as pretend it's in Earth's orbit and it's re-entering the atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's how I want it. Just
Yes.
really scorched.
Yeah. I don't want it to resemble like animal meat in any kind of way.
Right. Yeah, I prefer it to look like a rock.
That's it. Yes. Nice bit of rock.
Yeah, I mean it tastes better that way for me. I don't know. That's my style. Let's see. What kind of vehicle do you drive?
I drive a Fiat 500, which is like a tiny little car. I actually saw it in an anime, and that's why I wanted one.
Oh, nice. Okay. What what anime did it appear in?
It's called Wagnaria, which means working, apparently. It's a slice of life one where they all work in a family restaurant, and the manager had a little Fiat 500, so I got the exact one. Because I'm cool like that.
I once saw a Volkswagen Beetle done up like Pikachu at
That's
a
amazing.
at a Comic-Con down here, and that blew my mind.
That's so cool. That'll be my next car.
There you go, the Pikachu mobile.
Yeah. Get all the guys with that.
Well, yeah, you might. If there's any trainers out there who haven't caught Pikachu,
Just throwing Pokeballs at me.
Isn't that how girls are wooed at conventions nowadays? That's
Oh, that's it, yeah.
that's the new
Can reveal
that's,
that.
that's the new pickup line. Just to throw a Pokeball at someone. Oh man, it's like the nerdiest interview ever. So sorry, folks, if you're not into this stuff. Too bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Part of the fun. So, if somebody wanted to start making ASMR videos, what would you recommend they do? How could they start off? Like, what equipment do they need? All that stuff.
I would say you definitely need a camera of any sort. It doesn't have to be HD or anything. It could even be your webcam. Spend a little bit of money on the mic because people are quite snobby with how they listen now, and if there's any sort of white noise, people just are going to thumbs down and not enjoy it. So I won my mic, so that was lucky.
Nice.
But yeah, a good mic. And then make videos about what you enjoy. Like what I was saying before, make something you're passionate about. Don't just sit and think you have to do a makeup role play or hairdressing. You could even just be sitting rambling about favourite film or a book you've read or something that you really enjoy. So yes, that would be my advice.
Now, as we wrap up here, what's next for your channel? What do you want to try that you haven't tried yet? Is there anything we can look forward to?
I'm working on some new role plays. Somebody wants some more X-Men role plays, so I'll be trying to be different X-Men. I'm allergic to face paint, so it's kind of difficult to find the right X-Men to be. So I'm working on that. Hopefully a Guardians of the Galaxy roleplay as well. And I want to try some 3D sounds and things, but I've got to do that manually editing after I've done it because my mic isn't 3D. So that's why most of my videos aren't 3D, because it's kind of really difficult for me to do it. And I'm also working on buying a new microphone which is 3D, so hopefully the 3D world will be opened up on my channel. And I'm starting a book club as well, ASMR book club, where every month I'm going to be reading like chapters from a certain book, and then hopefully viewers can do that as well. So it's all new, it's all exciting.
I like that. What can you give us a hint of what the first book might be for the club?
The first one is Alice in Wonderland because it's the 150th anniversary this year.
Perfect.
So it's going to be that one, which I've never actually read all the way through, so that'll be good for me too.
There you go. Very cool. May I throw my 2 cents in for requests? Can you do another otaku shopping video?
I certainly can. I've got more things now, so or if anybody wants to send me some things. Yeah.
Hey, there you go. There you go. And you have a Patreon as well, right?
I do, yes. VisualSounds1. I think that's all it is. There's links on my channel for that, yeah.
Very cool. And I'll link to your channel. I'll link to that as well.
Thank you very much.
Is there any last thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with?
I just keep enjoying my videos and I'll keep making them as long as people keep liking them and commenting. I'm always up for different requests as well, so anything new that hasn't been done, I'm always interested in. Oh, and sign me up to be in an anime. If anyone's listening, there you go.
There you go. Well, Jen, you rock, pal. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was a fun, geeky interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But we're not done with Visual Sounds, aka Jenny, just yet. She has provided us with an exclusive ASMR session, which, as always, I will place at the end of this episode. But before we get to that, I have a special guest in the studio with me today, my daughter Abby.
Hello.
How are you, baby?
Good.
Okay, question. Do you know what ASMR means?
No.
Okay, if you had to guess what it meant, what do you think it meant? Okay, so let's say it's ASMR. It's 4 letters, right? So imagine ASMR. Okay, so what would the A stand for? Pick anything that could start with an A.
Okay, this is weird. Apple.
Okay, apple. And then S.
Start.
Start. Okay. Apple, start. And then we have M.
Mom.
Mom. Apple start mom. And then R.
Read.
Read. Well, you heard it here first, folks. ASMR stands for Apple Start Mom Read. I had a great time this episode. I hope you guys did too. Did you have a good time this episode, Abby?
Yes.
So I'm gonna sign off for now. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter, ASMRtist_show. Follow us on Facebook, ASMRtist show. On Facebook there, and please email me if you're an ASMR artist and would like to be on the show at asmrpodcastinfo@gmail.com, or if you have a question for Dr. Craig Richard concerning ASMR, please email me there as well, asmrpodcastinfo@gmail.com, and we will get back to you. We'd love to have you on the show if you're an ASMR artist, and I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing here. We've got a couple of really great shows coming up. Next episode is going to be Mr. Smiling Observer on YouTube. He has it's a really fun interview. He's got a really fun, interesting kind of ASMR style. So go check out his stuff. I'm going to put a link in the description box for this episode, wherever you're looking for it. You should be able to find the links. And obviously, I will put links for Jenny's channel, VisualSounds1. Please enjoy her stuff. And now, without further ado, here is an ASMR sample of VisualSounds1.
Bye.
Hello, 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 hello. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Don't be scared, I'm here to help. My name is Jen, and I'll be your dream guide. You're in the dream realm now. Only a certain few can enter here. You're very lucky. Only those with the capability to let go of their ideals and knowledge of the world around them can enter. You have been chosen to walk the path of your dreams and others. Now, which path will you choose? Depending on your decision, you will enter either a dreamscape or a place of terror. So choose wisely and do not be persuaded by anything other than your own mind. Once you have chosen, I am here to protect and guide you throughout your journey. Many have fallen off their path and not returned to the land of consciousness, so be wary when stepping. You choose this path? Very well. Now, close your eyes and listen to my voice as I guide you through the dreamscape towards your hopes and desires. You feel lighter than air as you float towards a soft glow in the distance. Around you are fields for as far as the eye can see. Closest to you, they are of rich reds, golds, and blues. They look almost like rivers as they fade into pastel shades. You don't have time to pause and take in the colours though. You drift along on a silent breeze like a feather, twisting and turning slowly, never slowing down. The glow grows suddenly brighter and encases you in its warmth, like a blanket of heat wrapping you up. It feels calming and brings a sense of peace to your joints and limbs, relaxing you completely. When the glow fades, you find yourself standing atop a tower. Clouds tickle your face as they drift by like cotton candy, and although you know you are high up, higher even than the birds, you do not fear. You dare a peek over the edge of the tower and look down. Below, through the wisps of clouds, you can see a city. It is dark. Only the bright lights of cars, buildings, and street signs indicate that anything exists below. You find yourself drawn to the splashes of colour and take a step over the edge. You fall. It seems like forever as the lights grow bigger and brighter, and you close your eyes, ready for the impact. It doesn't come. Instead, you open your eyes to see yourself whooshing through the streets, past buildings and traffic, past people walking in the rain that has started to fall. You fly swiftly and elegantly through the maze of skyscrapers and feel the cool rain on your cheeks as you soar higher towards the dark clouds, towards the moon. The moon smiles and your feet are suddenly on something soft. You look down to see you are standing in a slow-moving stream. The sunlight glimmers on the surface, and you feel the tepid water moving between your toes over your bare feet. The pebbles underfoot are soft and don't hurt when you step further into the centre of the river. Slowly, the river deepens as you step closer to the middle, and then, without warning, the riverbed is no longer there, and you slip into the deepness of the water. Before you can panic, you open your mouth and feel breath entering your lungs. You can breathe underwater. Looking around, you see corals of vibrant oranges and greens, and schools of fish shimmer past, glistening in the shreds of sunlight breaking through the surface of the water. A dolphin pauses beside you, and you hold on to its fin as it pulls you faster than anything you've ever experienced, through colours and bubbles, and sights so mesmerising they take your breath away. A clam opens by your feet, and you bend to pluck the pearl from it. It is shimmering and splendid, and as you look upon its beauty, it looks back, a black eye blinking through thick lashes. The eye opens wider, its blackness encasing you. All you see now is darkness, and you know you are sleeping now, safe and warm in your room, under the covers of your bed. A smile drifts onto your face. Was it all a dream?
You've been listening to the dulcet tones of our guest ASM artist for the week. That's it for the ASM Artist show for now, and our host Jose Prentice would like to remind you that those tingly feelings in your scalp might not be signs of a stroke after all. Follow us on Twitter for daily ASMR video recommendations and updates at ASMRtist_show. That's at ASMRtist_show. Also, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time with another tingle-tastic episode.